she's in here.
Where is she?
She works at a boutique 4 days a week. My dad's on a business trip in Denver or Atlanta or somewhere. I'll show you where they keep the liquor.
My mom's always here when I get home from school.
Bummer. She's not. My grandma comes in. The liquor's over here. Neat. What?
This room.
It's our dining room.
I know. It's viciously nice.
All right, which do you want, gin or vodka?
You decide.
Well, there's a lot more gin, so there's less chance they'll notice.
Gin then.
Oh, but the reason there's more gin is that I put water in it, not sweet.
Vodka then.
I'll tell you what, we'll mix a little bit of both.
Do you use this room?
Sure.
Special occasions, like when the relatives come to visit, or
Every night.
every night?
At least every night they're both home. My father insists we all eat here together at 7 o'clock. All right. There you go. Gin and vodka. The boys are bringing coffee.
It must be nice eating in here.
Sure, you bet. We have to lug things in and lug things back out, and we're supposed to carry on a decent conversation, and nobody can eat until everything's cold, and no one can leave until everything's finished, and it sucks if you want to know. It sucks out loud.
We eat in the kitchen.
Can you watch TV while you eat?
We used to. We used to watch the local news and the weather.
That's something. At least you don't have to carry on a conversation.
Yeah. But not anymore. My mother, she read in Family Circle that TV is bad and ill, so now we turn on the stereo and we listen to semi-classical music.
My parents tried eating in the kitchen when I went to boarding school, but when I got kicked out, they moved back in here. It's supposed to give me some sense of stability.
Do you think it does?
Shit, no. It just makes me nervous. I mean, they take the telephone off the hook so that no one can call, and my brother's always itchy about his homework. And when my sister had anorexia, they still made her sit here and watch us eat, for God's sake. And my parents basically spend the whole meal bitching. And it bites, Helen. It bites the big one. You want another?
No thanks.
I do. You can call the boys and tell them the coast is clear.
Okay. Sarah,
Yes.
when the boys come, can we have our drinks in here?
In the dining room?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool sitting around this big table with Eddie and Dwayne drinking gin and vodka?
No. No, absolutely not. I get all uptight in here. Come on, let's go call them. Boys in the dining room? Jesus, Helen, you really are a wimp sometimes.
I'm in here, Gordon. I made tea.
Tea?
Tea.
Why tea?
Because I like it. I love it. Or would you like a drink?
No thanks.
Don't worry about me. I'm all over that now. Even have it in the house and I never touch it.
No thanks, Kate.
All right then. Have some tea.
I really ought to go.
You won't have tea?
All right.
Thank you.
Tea in the dining room.
Where else? Should we huddle guiltily over the kitchen table?
No.
Then tea in the dining room. What would you like? Lemon or milk?
Whatever.
Gordon.
Milk then, no sugar.
Milk it is. Now sit down, please.
How does it sound?
And what sound do you hear? A distant lawnmower? A faulty burglar alarm?
I thought I heard a car.
What? A car on this god-forsaken street? Should we rush to the window, cheer, wave flags?
Go easy, Kate.
Well, I doubt very much you heard a car.
Stop!
The sound?
The car stopped.
All
right, Gordon, you heard a car stop. But it's not Ed's car, is it? Because Ed, as you and I well know, is in Amsterdam or Rotterdam or who gives a damn until next Tuesday. Now let's just sit down and have tea.
The door slammed. The car door slammed.
No?
Yes, there's someone at the front door.
No.
Someone with a key.
Well, now you've got to stay.
Ma!
Lord help us.
Ma!
You've got to have tea.
I'm home, Mom!
We're in the dining room, dear. Darling, how'd you get here?
I took a cab from the bus station.
Oh, you look marvelous, taller than ever. Say hello to your Uncle Gordon.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
What's this? Is this what they teach you at Deerfield? Not to shake hands, not to call people by name?
Hello, Uncle Gordon.
Hi, Chris.
That's better. Now what brings you home, my love? I expected you Saturday.
I got honors.
Honors.
Yeah, they give you 2 days early if you get an over 85 average.
Oh, well, you should have telephoned.
I wanted to surprise you.
Have some tea. I was taking a nap, so Gordon stopped by, and we thought we'd have tea. Have some tea, Chris. Or a Coke. Have a Coke. Or how about a beer? How about a beer for a big boy who gets honors?
No thanks.
I really ought to go.
You won't have more tea?
No.
All right, then. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye, Chris.
Bye.
He wanted to talk to me about stocks. I inherited some stock he thought I should sell, so he stopped by.
There's Dad.
Oh. He's in Europe, darling, as I think I wrote you. He'll be home Tuesday. And what does that mean, pray tell? Oh, Mom. I'd like to know, please, what that means. I happen to be having tea, Christopher. It happens to be a very delightful old custom. Your grandmother used to have tea every afternoon at this very table with this very china. All sorts of people would stop by, all the time. I'd come home from school, and there she'd be, serving tea. It's a delightful old custom, sweetheart. Where are you going? I asked you a question, Christopher. We don't just walk away. I am talking to you. I am talking to not your mother, and the least you can do is answer me, Christopher!
How are you doing, Aunt Harriet? Now, would you mind sitting up over here? I want to get you in the afternoon light.
Certainly, dear. Now, I
thought I'd use this Irish placemat with matching napkin. Which it is. My husband inherited these as a wedding present from who was what? Your great uncle from his sister. They should be washed and ironed every time they're used. And then, of course, the silver, which we received as a wedding present from your great-grandmother. You see, 3-pronged fork, pistol-handled knife, spoon with a rat tail back. These should be polished at least every 2 weeks. And then, of course, this is Staffordshire, as is the butter plate, all of this bone. The wine glasses are an early Steuben, but the finger bowls and goblets are Waterford. None of this goes in the dishwasher, of course. It's all far too delicate for detergents.
Finger bowls.
Oh, yes, our side of the family uses finger bowls in between the salad and the dessert.
Would you mind showing me how they worked, Aunt Harriet?
Oh, certainly, dear. Well, hold on. Oh, actually, the maid would take away the salad plate, like this, and then she'd place the finger bowl in front of us, like this. It would be filled approximately halfway with cool water. Maybe there'd be a small rose in it, or a sliver of lemon. Now, of course, our napkins would be on our laps, like this. And then we'd take our fingers and dip them in the finger bowl, gently, gently.
Could you hold that? Perfect.
And then we'd wiggle and shake them out, dab them on our napkin, dab our lid. And then, of course, the maid would take it away, and in would come a nice sherbet or chocolate mousse.
Thank you, Aunt Harriet. That was terrific.
Certainly, my dear Tony. Now tell me again what this was for. I didn't quite catch it over the telephone.
A classroom project for Amherst.
Oh my. A project. In what person?
Anthropology, actually.
Anthropology? Heavens. Now, what does that have to do with this?
We're studying the eating habits of various vanishing cultures. You can learn so much about a culture from the way that they eat. For example, well, someone is doing the Cree Indians of Saskatchewan, and my roommate is doing the Kikuyus of northern Kenya, and my professor suggested I do a slide on us.
Us.
The wasps of the northeastern United States.
I see.
Take your finger bowls, for example. There you almost have a neurotic obsession with cleanliness, reflecting the guilt that comes with the late stages of capitalism. Or the unnecessary accumulation of glass and china, or the subtle hint of aggression that comes from those pistol-handed knives.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, Tony.
Aunt Harriet.
I was gonna invite you to stay for cocktails, but now I won't.
Aunt Harriet.
Out! Right away! Before I call long distance to your mother. Vanishing culture, my eye! I forbid you to mention my name in that classroom, or even show a glimpse of my personal property. And you can tell that professor of yours that I have a good mind not to drive up to Amherst with that pistol-handled butter knife on the seat beside me and cut off his anthropological balls!
Aunt Harriet.
Where are you going now, Daddy?
I think your mother might want a drink.
She's reading to the children.
Why she might want one.
She wants no such thing, Dad. Now it's not even 5.
You're right. Let's go see how the sun's doing.
Daddy, stop!
Stop what?
Avoiding me! Ever since I arrived, we haven't been able to talk.
Really, because it seems to me like everyone's been talking continuously and simultaneously since you got off the plane.
Alone, Daddy. I mean alone.
All right.
No, I mean alone.
You want to talk? Let's talk. Right here, in the dining room. Matter of fact, I'm kind of tired. It's been a long day.
I love this room. I've always loved it. Always.
Your mother and I still use it sometimes. Once a week, Mrs. Robinson still comes down and makes us dinner. Lamb chops,
I
broilers.
loved him, Daddy.
Well now, a little vacation.
I've left him permanently.
Yes, well, permanently is a very long word, Meg.
I can't live with him. We don't get along at all.
You may think that now. 10 years from now? Who knows?
Can we stay here, Daddy,
Here,
for a few months,
with 3 small children.
while I work my life out?
What time is it? A little after 5? I think the sun is over the yard, and it's almost permissible for you and me to get a little drink, Meg.
Can we stay, Dad?
Make us a drink, Meg.
All right.
I'd like scotch, sweetheart. Make it reasonably strong. I want 2 shots and a splash of water. And put in the pheasant glass that I like. Not too much ice, please.
All right.
I saw Mimi Mott the other day. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dad.
There she was, being a very good sport with her 3rd husband. Her 3rd, who's deaf as a post and extremely disagreeable. So I asked her, I said, Mimi, don't you think that if you'd put in half as much effort with your 1st husband as you put in with this one, that you'd still be together? And you know what she said to me? You know what she said? She said, Mimi. She put it in.
That's your generation, Dad.
That's every generation.
It's not mine.
Every generation has to put it in effort.
I can't live with him.
I wanted the glass with the pheasant on it.
I think the kids used it.
Oh.
Can we stay, Dad?
I sleep in your room. Your mother kicked me out. Because I snore. And we use the kids' room to watch TV.
I'll use the guest room.
And what about your children?
They can sleep in the maids' rooms on the 3rd floor.
We closed them off because of the oil bills.
We'll figure something out, Daddy. Please.
Give it another try first.
No.
Another try!
No. He's with someone else now, Daddy. She's living there right now.
Then fly back and kick her out!
Oh, Dad.
Look, you don't know this. But the same thing happened with your mother. One time, I became romantically involved with Mrs. Shoemaker. We took a little hike together down to Sea Island. And your mother, she came right down and told Betty Shoemaker to get on the next train. And that was the end of it. Now, why don't you do that? Go tell this woman to pack her papers elsewhere. We'll sit with the kids while you do.
I've been seeing someone else too, Dad.
So you've had a little fling.
I've been going with him.
A little fling.
I've been living with him.
Where was your husband?
He stayed with his girl.
And the children?
They went back and forth.
Sounds real complicated, Meg.
It is, Dad. That's why I needed to come home.
Okay, so let's review the bit, all right? You planning to marry this new man?
No,
You don't love him?
no. He's married anyways.
Oh, okay. And he's decided that he loves his wife.
No.
Oh, but you've decided that you don't love your husband.
Yes.
And the children, they go back and forth between these various households.
Yes.
It sounds very complicated, Meg.
It is, Dad.
All right, so the first thing you do is you simplify things, all right? You sue your husband to divorce, you keep the house, you keep the kids in there.
There's someone else too, Dad.
Someone else. Okay.
Another person.
Another person! What was that movie that your mother and I liked so much? The Third Man?
Not a man, Dad.
Not a man.
It's a woman.
A woman.
I've been seeing a woman. But it's not working, and I don't know who I am anymore, and I need to touch base, Daddy. I need to come home. I need to come home.
I think I'll get a repair. Would you like one? I'll take your class. I'll get us both repairs.
I'm all mixed up, Daddy. I'm all over the ballpark. I've been seeing a crisis counselor and have been jogging 2 miles a day, and I've taken a part-time job, and none of it's working. I want to come home, Daddy. I want to take my children to the park lake and the zoo and the art museum and do all of the things that you and Mom used to do with all of us. I want to start all over again, Daddy. I want to start over.
I made one for your mother. I found the glass with the physics on it. In the trash. Somebody broke it!
You don't want us to stay, do you, Dad?
Of course, sweetheart. All week. 10 days. You're most welcome.
I can't go back, Daddy.
Neither can I, sweetheart. Neither can I.
What's wrong, Mother? I don't know whether to eat or not. Your father and I were sitting in the living room having a perfectly pleasant cocktail together when all of a sudden the telephone rang and now he's holed up in the bedroom talking away. Who's he talking to? I don't know. I don't even know. I think it's someone from the club. Are we eating now or not? I don't know. I don't know whether we should start or not while Mr. Thatcher's still on the telephone for I simply don't know. Let's wait 5 more minutes, Bertha. Yes, miss. Honestly, that telephone, I could bring it to neck. It should be banned.
should be outlawed.
Between 6 and 8 feet.
I've got to go.
Go where?
Out.
You can't even have some of Bertha's nice celery soup.
I can't even finish my cocktail. Something very bad has happened.
Bertha, would you please put all the soup back in the saucepan and keep it on a low flame? We'll call you when we're ready.
Yes, miss.
Now what, Bertha? What's the matter?
Henry was insulted at the club.
Insulted? Uncle Henry?
Binky Byers made a remark in the steam bath.
What do you say, Dad? What do you say?
I believe I was speaking to your mother. Binky made a remark and apparently some of the newer members laughed. Poor Henry was so upset he had to put his clothes on and leave. He called me for mother.
Oh, no.
I called the club and confirmed the incident. I asked to speak to Binky Byers, but he refused to come to the telephone. So now I've got to do something.
Oh, dear.
Won't you tell us what they said to Uncle Henry, Dad?
I will not. I will not dignify the remarks by repeating them.
Oh, come on. We're not babies.
Yes, Standish, really.
He said, Claire, I want you to leave the room.
Why? I'm older.
Yes, she should know. Everyone should know. These are different times. We're not quite ready yet, Bertha. Yes, miss. Now, go on, Standish. This is a family.
Mr. Byers made an unfortunate remark about your Uncle Henry's private life.
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to be a little bit more specific here.
Mr. Byers, who had obviously been drinking earlier in the afternoon, approached your Uncle Henry in the steam bath and alluded in very specific terms to his personal relationships.
What personal relationships?
His associations in the outside world.
I don't get it.
Darling, Mr. Byers must have made some unnecessary comments about your Uncle Henry's bachelor attachments.
Uncle Henry's a prude?
I will not have that word in this house!
I was
She got it from school.
I don't care if she got it from God! I will not have it in this house!
What can you do about all of this, dear?
Go down there.
To your mother.
To the club. I'll demand Binky apologize in front of the entire grill.
But he won't even come to the telephone.
I'll have to fight him. I have to. I can't let the remark stand.
Oh, Daddy. Can I come with you, Dad?
No, we're
Standish, for heaven's sake!
no arguments, please.
Binky Byers is half your age and twice your size.
It makes no difference.
I heard he was on the boxing team at Dartmouth.
No difference whatsoever.
What about your bad shoulder? What about your hernia?
Sorry. I imagine I shall be seriously hurt.
Laugh away over Dartmouth. And it is a beautiful lamb, Standish.
Now listen to me. All of you. And you too, Bertha. There is nothing I'd rather do than sit here with all of you and enjoy some of Bertha's fine celery soup, followed by leg of lamb, with mint sauce and roast potatoes. Am I right about sauce and potatoes, Bertha?
Yes, sir.
There is nothing I'd rather do than that. But I have to forego it. My own brother has been insulted at his club. And when he's been insulted, that means this family's been insulted. And when this family's been insulted, that means this table, these chairs, this room, and everyone in it, and you too, Bertha, are being treated with scorn. So if I were to stay here, I wouldn't be able to converse, to laugh. I wouldn't be able to correct your grammar, Dana. I wouldn't be able to enjoy your fine meal, Bertha. I wouldn't even be able to kiss my handsome wife goodbye. Goodbye, dear.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Winkins.
Goodbye, Daddy.
Goodbye, Dana.
Go get him, Dad.
Goodbye, Bertram.
Goodbye, Celeste.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
No, of course we can't eat now. Have something yourself and then people can raid the icebox later on. Okay? And the children can have lamb hash on Saturday. Yes. Dana, you and I are going to go down to the club and wait for the outcome in the visitors' lounge.
Yes!
So get a book. A good book. Get Ivanhoe. We could be a very long time.
Okay, Mother.
And Claire, I want you to stay here and hold down the fort.
All right, Mother.
Get on the telephone to Dr. Russell. I don't care if he's in the middle of dinner or in the operating room. Tell him he has to be at the club to give your father first aid.
All right, Mother.
And then study your French.
All right. Mother.
What, for heaven's sake?
Is it true what they said about Uncle Henry?
Well, it may be, darling. But you don't say it to him. And you don't say it at the club. And you don't say it within a 10-mile radius of your father.
We'll talk in here. No one will disturb us. Nobody comes in your dining rooms anymore. The thought of sitting down with intelligent, attractive people to eat good food, well cooked and properly served, apparently doesn't occur to anyone anymore. Nowadays, people eat in kitchens or living rooms, standing around balancing their plates like jugglers. Pretty soon they'll be eating in bathrooms. Simplify the process considerably.
Sit down some more, Pop.
Sit here. We can look out. There's a purple finch. Comes to the theater every evening. Brings his young. I want to go over my funeral with you. I want to do it. There are only a few apples left in the barrel for me.
Been saying that for years.
Well, this time it's true. So please, you're my eldest son and the only one I can do it with. Your mother starts to cry, your brother isn't here, and your sister gets distracted. So please, concentrate on my funeral.
All right, Pop.
First, here's my obituary. I dictated it to Miss Kovac at the office, and it's what I want. It's thorough without being self-congratulatory. I mention my business career, my civic commitments, and of course, my family. I even touch on my recreational life. I give my lowest score in golf, and the way to the sailfish I caught off the coast of the Keys. The paper will want to cut both items, but don't you let them.
Hey, Pop.
I also want them to print this picture. It was taken when I was elected chair of the Symphony Drive. I don't look too old to die. Too young, rather. It doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
Now, I want the funeral service to be announced at the end of the obituary and to occur 3 days later. That gives people time to postpone their trips and adjust their appointments. And I want it to happen at 3:30 in the afternoon. That gives people time to digest their lunch. And it doesn't obligate us to feed them dinner. Notice I've underlined the word church. Mr. Fairweather might try and squeeze the service into a chapel, but don't let him. I've lived in the city all my life, and I know a great many people, and I want them all to have a seat and feel comfortable. If you see anyone milling around the door, go right up to them and find them a place, even if you have to use folding chairs. Are we clear on that?
Yeah.
Good. Now, I've listed the following works to be played by Miss Manchester at the organ. This Handel, this Schubert, and this Bach. All lively, you'll notice, nothing grim, nothing gloomy. I want the service to start promptly with a good rousing hymn, Onward Christian Soldiers, followed by brief, underlined, brief remarks by Fairweather about my Latin works. Do you plan to say anything? Me? You plan to get up and say a few words?
I hadn't thought about it.
Don't, if you don't want to. There's nothing more uncomfortable than a reluctant or unwilling speaker. But on the other hand, you being my eldest son, if you were to get up and say a few words of farewell.
Of course I will, Papa.
Good. I'll write you in then. You know what you might say?
No,
You won't make it sentimental, will you? Brad Hoffmeister's son got up the other day and made some very sentimental remarks about Brad. I didn't like it, and I don't think Brad would have liked it.
I won't get sentimental, Papa.
Good. On the other hand, you won't make any wisecracks, will you? You have the tendency to do that, Richard. At Marcy's wedding and your brother's birthday, you got up and made some very flip remarks about all of us.
I'm sorry.
Smart guy stuff. Too smart, in my opinion. If you plan to get in that sort of thing. I suggest you don't say anything at all.
I won't make any cracks, Papa.
Good. Because you love us.
Yeah.
You love me. You may live 1,000 miles away. You may have gone away every summer. You may be a terrible letter writer. But you love us all the same.
Yes, Papa. Really.
Now at the graveside, I want just the family. I want to be buried next to my brothers and below my mother and father. Leave room next to me for your mother. If she remarries, still leave room. She'll come back in the end. Invite people back here after the burial. Stay with your mother. She tends to get nervous at any type of gathering and makes bad decisions. For example, don't let her use any of the good Beefeater's gin if people are simply going to drink it with tonic water. And after people leave, sit with her. Stay in the house. Don't leave for a few days, please.
Promise, Papa.
That's my funeral. I'm leaving you this room, you know. After your mother dies, table and chairs go to you. It's the best thing I can leave you. By far.
Thanks, Papa.
Now, let's rejoin your mother. I'll put this binder in my safe deposit box above my will and stock certificates. The key will be in the left bureau drawer. Thanks. You didn't see the purple finch
Yes, I did.
while we were talking.
That's right.
Good. I'm glad you saw it.
Annie, it looks spectacular. Thank you, miss. Make sure the soup plates are done.
I always do.
And dispense with butter bowls. Give everyone a nice square of butter.
I'll do butter bowls, miss.
And keep an eye on the ashtrays. Some people still like to smoke between courses, but they don't like to be reminded of it.
I know, miss.
Before people arrive, I want to pay you. For you, with Alma in the kitchen. It includes a taxi, so you can leave right after you cleaned up.
Thank you, miss.
There's a little extra in it. A little present for all you've done for us over the years.
Thank you, miss.
Now I've got to go check on the living room. Annie. I heard some strange news through the grapevine. Mrs. Rahman told me you won't be available anymore.
No, miss.
Not even for us, Annie. I mean, we've used you more than anyone. Reverend Anderson's.
Thank you, miss.
I think I heard the bell.
I'll get it, miss.
Women's coats upstairs, men's in the hall closet.
Of course, miss.
Annie. Thank you, Annie. For everything.
You're welcome, miss.
Lately, I've been having this recurring dream. We're having the perfect party. We have our dining room back, and grandmother's silver, before it was stolen, and Charlie's mother's royal dinner plates,
Before the witches dropped them.
and even the finger bowls, if I knew where they were. And I've invited all our favorite people. And I don't just mean our old friends. I mean everyone we've ever known and liked. We have the man from Sir Toyota, and that intelligent little couple called H. Thomas, and the receptionist at the doctor's office, and the new teller at the bank. And our children can come too. They all come back to wherever they are. We have product herbs and 2 cocktails, and a first-rate cook in the kitchen, and 2 maids to serve, and everyone getting along famously. My husband laughs when I tell him this story.
Do you have any idea how much we'd have to pay for a party like that? Do you have any idea how much that would cost?
Well, I know. I know all that. But sometimes I think it might almost be worth it.
To all of us.
To all of us.